Let's be real, fellas. We've all seen it, right? That guy who doesn't seem to try at all, yet women are all over him. He doesn't chase, he doesn't beg for attention, and he sure doesn't cater to her every whim. He barely even acknowledges how incredible he is, and yet, somehow, he's the one they're obsessed with. Meanwhile, you're the guy who's doing everything right, treating her like royalty, giving her all the validation, being the perfect gentleman, and still, she's slipping through your fingers. The truth? Women don't get addicted to men who act like they're everything. They get addicted to men who act like they're nothing. Before you jump to conclusions, I'm not telling you to become a jerk, to start ignoring her, or to lose your values. What I'm talking about is understanding the deep psychology of attraction and how it's far more about how you make her feel than anything else. And in this video, I'm going to break down the exact reason why women lose themselves in men who seem like they don't need them. It's a harsh truth, but it's one that will change the way you approach your relationships and dating forever. So buckle up and let's dive in. You've heard it a million times before. She wants a man who's busy, who's got his own life. But it's more than that. Women get addicted to men who don't need them. They're drawn to men who live their own lives and make them feel like they have to earn their place. They're not chasing validation, they're not texting constantly, and they're definitely not giving their time away to someone who isn't fully invested. It's this unavailability, not being emotionally available 24/7, that makes them want you more. Why? Because when a woman is uncertain about your level of interest, her mind becomes occupied with thoughts of you. She wonders, does he like me? Why hasn't he texted back yet? This uncertainty is like a drug to her brain. The less certain she is about your feelings, the more emotionally hooked she gets. It's called intermittent reinforcement, and it works like magic. Think about it. The guy who chases her, the one who's always available, becomes predictable. And guess what? Predictability is boring. When she knows exactly how you'll react, how often you'll text her, when you'll call her, her brain starts to lose interest. But the guy who isn't constantly in her face? That's the guy who keeps her mind racing, her heart pacing. That's the guy who stays on her mind. All about the challenge. Now let's get something straight. Women are hardwired to crave challenge. It's not about being cruel or playing games. It's about creating emotional tension. When you make her feel like she has to work for your attention, like she has to earn your validation, she becomes more invested. But here's the catch. This doesn't mean you should become distant or cold. What it means is that you should stop handing her everything on a silver platter. Stop being overly accommodating. Stop making yourself too available. Let her feel like she's got to step up her game to keep your attention. This isn't a manipulation tactic. It's just how attraction works. Women are naturally drawn to men who have a life of their own, who aren't constantly at their beck and call, and who hold themselves to high standards. When you're constantly chasing her, it signals low value. You're telling her that you're willing to drop everything for her, and that makes her lose respect for you. The silent power of uncertainty. There's something deeply powerful about a man who is comfortable in his own skin. He doesn't chase attention. He doesn't try to impress. He lives his life with or without her. And this is key. This is what gets into her subconscious. She needs to wonder about you. When a woman is unsure about a man's feelings, she's forced to work for his validation. She's forced to earn his attention. And when she earns it, that's when her attraction becomes deep, uncontrollable, and obsessive. The man who is always available and eager to please might seem like the right choice on paper. But deep down, he's actually a boring option. He's the safe choice, the predictable one. Women don't get addicted to safety. They get addicted to uncertainty, to mystery. And the more you hold back and make her wonder, the more emotionally hooked she'll get. It's not about being perfect. You can have the best car, the most impressive job, the sharpest look, but none of that matters if you're not in control of your emotional state. Women are drawn to men who are calm, grounded, and unbothered. You don't need to try to impress her. You don't need to be a millionaire or a bodybuilder. What you need is inner strength. When you stop seeking her approval, when you stop performing and just be yourself, She'll start to feel something she can't quite explain. The attraction will build, and it will be strong. The man who doesn't need validation is the one she'll remember long after he's gone. Why? Because that man makes her feel like she's chasing something she can't quite get, and that is addictive. The truth about being the one has complete control over a man's emotions. She loses respect for him. It's a harsh truth, but it's biology at work. Women are drawn to men who don't need them to feel validated. So if you're constantly seeking her approval, always giving her what she wants, you're subconsciously telling her that you're lower value than her. If you want to keep her emotionally invested, you have to stop acting like you're just there to serve her needs. Make her feel like she has to earn your affection, not like it's being handed to her. Here's the hard truth, men. The reason women get addicted to men who act like they're nothing is because those men know how to hold back. They're not desperate for attention, they're not constantly chasing her. They create mystery, they create uncertainty, and that makes them incredibly attractive. So if you want to stop being the guy who's doing everything right but still getting ignored, you need to learn how to hold back. Be comfortable with your own life, be unpredictable, and make her earn your attention. Stop being afraid to lose her, and you'll find that she'll want you more than ever. Hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, Psyloop, and let's continue to build a generation of men who understand the psychology of attraction.